Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers in China help transform an autistic boy's life around with their love and care. National Kaohsiung First University promotes their philanthropy to encourage volunteering to help disadvantaged students. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Shioda. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in China. Liang Fenglian and her daughter are Tzu Chi care recipients in Guangzhou. Liang's daughter suffers from sepsis, so Tzu Chi has been helping this family financially, including paying the daughter's massive medical fee. The volunteers always encourage the family to face life bravely. Recently, the volunteers went to visit them with aid items for a winter aid distribution. Good morning, Lian. Is it convenient for us to go to your home? Yes, we're about to leave. Okay, see you later.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Guangdong province prepared the relief items and came to the home of one needy family, Liang Fenglian.
嗱，呢度啲鹽咧，希望我哋將我哋嘅愛灑去人間。好啊，好啊。
Liang Fenglian's daughter suffers from sepsis. They have been receiving help from Tzu Chi for a long time. They have spent the financial supplement in the envelopes, but they still keep the envelopes.
I appreciate that you have been helping my daughter, so I don't want to throw the envelopes away, because I want her to know who has helped her with her disease after she has recovered.
We often talk about when we open our minds, blessings will come. We say this often to enlighten our care recipients.
Care from the volunteer is like a key which can help Liang Fenglian to start again.
Staying in China, starting in October of this year, Tzu Chi volunteers in Harbin have been caring for an 8-year-old boy in Bayan County who suffers from ADHD and autism. Che Xingbo's parents divorced 7 years ago, leaving him in his grandparents' care. However, as his grandparents are too old to provide adequate care, Tzu Chi volunteers were asked to step in at the request of the local school. Over the past 3 months, Che has shown incredible improvement. Not only has his temper tantrums been brought under control, he has also become more sociable. Everyone hopes that the boy may soon start schooling at the special education school.
Northern China is covered in snow during this time of year, with temperatures reaching minus 24 degrees Celsius. Tzu Chi volunteers from Harbin drove 2.5 hours by car to visit Che Xingbo in Bayan County. The 8-year-old boy has been suffering from ADHD and autism since youth. His parents divorced 7 years ago and left him in his grandparents' care. However, as they're too old to properly care for him, a local school turned to Tzu Chi for help. In October, Tzu Chi volunteers walked into this family's lives.
Over
the past 2 months, Tzu Chi volunteers have cared for and loved Che Xingbo just as parents would. Now Che no longer throws tantrums like before and also interacts well with the volunteers.
Once he has recovered to a better state, he will be able to adapt more. At least he will have the ability to look after himself. He'll reach stability once he can sit still for at least 10 to 20 minutes. Let's help him prepare for school life.
Just talk to him nicely and say his name. Xingbo, it's time to eat, or it's time to wake up. I'm sure he will understand. Support him in this way, okay?
The volunteer support put the grandparents' heart at ease. With Che showing considerable improvement over the past few months, volunteers hope that in the near future, he'll be able to start schooling at the special education school.
Moving to Taiwan, Kaohsiung's First University has purchased a 3-dimensional dissection table for its medical department. By using one finger, the students can virtually dissect the human body, examine the veins, nerves, and muscles without the added burden on the environment like formaldehyde would have on the planet if a cadaver was used. Here's more.
Inferior gluteus nerve also supply the gluteus medius and the minimus muscle.
Isha University's postgrad medical department's international students are checking out the AnatoMatch table, which can be used with just one finger.
Now with this table, we can just look for it in more details and have like a complementary study besides the cadaver.
This is Taiwan's first three-dimensional dissection table, which helps medical students learn about human anatomy, can also help doctors during their diagnostics and reduce environmental pollution.
它不需要任何的化学药品的处理。
The simulation dissection table doesn't require the use of chemicals, as in when we do real dissections, the cadavers need to be processed chemically with formaldehyde solution, which can't be dumped, so this table is better for the environment.
The three-dimensional table has already been incorporated into the university's curriculum, which helps the students learn about the human body and also how to respect life. Xinchen Precinct of Hualien Police Bureau partnered with Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital to provide physical fitness exam and cancer screening tests for the police. Besides examining their health condition, doctors also suggested some ways for controlling their diet and maintaining their physical strength.
Maintaining good physical strength is the basic requirements for the police. However, the long stressful work hours makes their health condition unstable.
They usually eat lunch outside, but to make it delicious, the bento lunches usually contains a lot of salt, oil, and sugar. Eating too much of these three is not good. I think all of these lead some problems to their health. They don't exercise regularly because they usually feel tired after work, so we should help safeguard their health.
Xinchen Precincts of Hualien Police Bureau collaborates with Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital to provide the physical fitness exam for the police. This includes cardiopulmonary function, flexibility, sit-ups, and push-ups. With a numerical analysis, the police will understand their health condition clearly.
除了饮食之外，就是运动。
Besides controlling their diet, they should exercise more. This time, Tzu Chi came to examine their physical fitness to let them understand their health condition. Maintaining physical activities will be helpful to their work.
Besides explaining the health condition to the police with a number, doctors also remind them that if they feel something wrong with their health, they must have a medical checkup so as to cure their illness as soon as possible.
Also caring for the guardians of society, but in Taipei, the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital's Department of Community Medicine recently collaborated with the Xindian Precinct of New Taipei City Department to look after the police officers' physical and mental health condition. Besides providing the assessment of cardiovascular endurance for the police, the doctors also gave them a lecture associated with mental health issues.
Doctors from Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital's Department of Community Medicine pay a visit to Xindian Precincts of New Taipei Department to care for police officers' physical and mental health condition. They also assess their cardiovascular endurance through step test and sit-up test.
These exams will help remind our colleagues to pay more attention to their health. Besides, they can also grasp this chance to ask doctors for suggestions, such as the ways to keep them physical and mentally healthy.
The police usually have irregular lifestyle due to their work, so they're prone to suffer from cardiovascular disease. The cardiologist is on site to share the ways to maintain a healthy cardiovascular system.
After controlling three highs effectively, exercising regularly along with eating healthy and stopping smoking, the risk of heart disease can be reduced to more than 80%.
Police officers' long stressful work may lead to autonomic nervous system disorders easily. The psychiatrist examines their health condition with medical equipment while sharing with them the methods to relieve stress.
Positive stress helps the police strengthen their brain and immune system so that they won't be afraid and will face the stress bravely. This way, they can keep away from the stress which may bring negative impact to them.
Through the exam and the lecture, the police have learned to safeguard their own health by paying more attention to their health condition.
begin the second portion of our program with our final segment on sports doping. Taiwan's strength in biotechnology includes Tzu Chi University in Hualien, which 20 years ago was commissioned by the Ministry of Education to develop a sports drug testing laboratory. Unfortunately, government support gradually ended and the facility wasn't able to meet the certification qualifications by the World Anti-Doping Agency. Kaohsiung's University is now pursuing a similar path to pass certification, as one of the toughest hurdles is testing 3,000 samples each year.
This blue bag contains urine samples from many athletes, which are protected by multiple layers of packaging. They're all escorted by hand to Kaohsiung University Super Micro Mass Research and Technology Center to carry out sports doping tests. These athletes' urine samples are put under very strict control. First, they go through the serial number verification, and each bottle later divided into an A and B vial, which can be quite confusing for those without special training.
Sports drug testing basically sees the testing authorities and those carrying out the tests being independent of each other. The samples that are sent today, we have no idea which athlete they belong to or any other information.
Drug testing laboratories have a very precise division of labor and a variety of tests which need to be carried out. After samples have been repackaged, they are dried to become concentrates, and then a selection of reagents are used.
Now what we do is add 0.1 milligram of phosphate buffer and then add some water to determine if this sample has any steroids or similar drugs or even beta blockers. This is what testing for athlete doping looks like.
Lab workers not only have to master the existing technology, but also have to keep up with changes in doping, as WADA doping list changes and is updated or announced every September to October. And beginning on New Year's Day the following year, lab testers will need to upgrade their skills to not let any doping cases slip through.
Now the player's urine can be saved by WADA for 10 years. In fact, we joke that getting a gold medal now does not mean anything, as you will actually have to wait 10 years to get it. Progress in inspection techniques can be made at any time, and a player with a medal with a positive urine test could see his gold medal taken away.
Taiwan has been active in doing similar drug testing for a long time. Some 20 years ago, Tzu Chi University in Hualien had similar research, but it did not obtain certification.
Around 1995, we gave a grant to Tzu Chi to set up this testing center, and over 5 years, spent $1.9 million to receive WADA certification. In 1997, when the sports administration didn't continue the Ministry of Education support, and the sports administration thought about taking it back, as it had yet to achieve certification, which led to some criticism.
Now, Kaohsiung University Super Micro Mass Research and Technology Center also seeks WADA certification, but the first step is achieving the requisite number of samples has proven difficult to meet.
According to WADA regulations, if you want to apply for certification as a doping testing laboratory, there are lots of conditions. One of them is support from a government-related sports organization or the highest-ranked sports organization whose support must continue for 3 years and must involve 3,000 samples a year.
According to statistics, every year Taiwan needs only 200 samples to pass international certification, which are typically sent to labs in neighboring Japan at a cost of $150 per sample. This means that costs can be kept at around $62,000. However, maintaining a dedicated laboratory would cost $313,000 a year. And WADA certification is not permanent. Even if the lab passes inspection, it is subject to later checks. WADA currently has 34 accredited laboratories around the world, with 6 are inactive pending further review by officials. In November last year, when doping scandal involved Russian labs, their certification was rescinded, disqualifying 13 Olympic medals. For now, only the remaining labs can carry out drug testing work. Sports drug testing laboratories can not only help local athletes, but can also help strengthen the local biotechnology industry. With more research and technology in the field, specialized technology can be developed, and even without certification, these labs can forge their own path to help develop related industries and create new opportunities in Taiwan's sports environment.
President of National Kaohsiung First University of Science and Technology, Chen Zhenyuan, had a very difficult time during his school days because his family suffered financially. The assistance he received from his teacher back then inspired him 6 years ago to repay society by promoting a learning assistant program on the campus where he now works. A total of 1,634 impoverished students have benefited from his program so far.
Volunteers from National Kaohsiung First University of Science and Technology send love to Thailand by teaching Chinese to local children. The smiles of the children make these volunteers feel satisfied.
After teaching them Chinese, these Thai children repaid our dedication by showing their passion to us at the end of the program.
I feel moved because I now realize that they have something in common with us.
The love story has become a mosaic tile wall where more than 1,000 stories have been collected. It took the teachers and students 2 months to complete this mission.
At midnight, around 1 or 2 a.m., they asked us to correct something, so we kept revising it.
During the process, we could remember everyone's love when we had each tile in our hands.
This university has been promoting the Learning Assistance Program for 6 years. The person behind this program is the university's president, Chen Zhenyuan. When he was a college student, his family experienced financial problems.
That was the first time I cried due to lack of money. I thank my teacher for giving me a chance to be his assistant in the Ministry of Science and Technology after he heard about my story from my classmates.
As Chen keeps his teacher's love in his mind, he takes the responsibility to launch this program and raise the funds while his students volunteer to help the needy. So far, a total of 1,634 impoverished students have received their assistance.
Sun Qinghai, the borough head of Wangtian Borough in Taichung, Taiwan, has a white radish farm that's about 2.3 acres. As it is currently harvest time, he opens his plot of land to the public so they can pick them for free. It is estimated that he will give away 10,000 kilograms of white radish this year. Here's more.
People can take as many radishes as they can because they are free. It is estimated that this huge farmland will produce at least 10,000 kilograms of radish, but the borough head Sun Qinghai is willing to give them away.
It will be between $2,000 to $3,000 for every 0.2 acre to harvest the crop. This is the most cost-effective and fascinating way.
Sun Qinghai is quite generous. Last year, he planted over 1.5 acres of radish. Before opening up the farm to the public, he picked some up and gave them away with relief goods to underprivileged families. This year, more landowners joined him, so more lands are used for growing radish.
I grew more radishes this year, about 2.8 acres, twice the amount of last year.
He wants the residents to know the toil of farming and how farmers contribute to society. He's very mindful about it.
Radish takes between 50 to 60 days to be ripe. 2 months after the second growing season of rice is the suitable time for growing radish. Its leaves can be used as compost. Seeing people also makes the borough head happy. This best describes the joy from doing good deeds.
Tzu Chi University's affiliated elementary school recently held a special activity to teach children about the many obstacles that disabled students experience. These exercises allow them to experience being visually or hearing impaired, teaching them to be a little more understanding of those who overcome challenges in their daily life.
Being blindfolded by this mask, the student holds onto the handrail and ascends these stairs. These students are not playing a game, but actually experiencing what it's like to be visually impaired.
要爱护眼睛。
In another area, students used just one hand and their mouth to string these beads together. And in another activity, they taped a balloon to the bottom of one shoe and had to tiptoe as they walked.
By doing this exercise, my foot actually felt quite sore. Actually, this activity leads me to feel quite happy that I am healthy.
When your body is disabled, you have to learn how to compensate. So this might teach children to better care for themselves or have more empathy for sick people or those who are physically disabled.
Having a healthy body is something that many of us may be accustomed to experiencing. At the elementary and junior high affiliated with Tzu Chi University, guest speakers from the Taiwan Motor Neuron Disease Association were invited to give a talk and show a film. Students also enthusiastically asked questions to learn more about the physical limitations of those with disabilities.
We are letting the students feel what it's like to lie in bed like a sick person or attend to the needs of others who are helpless. We use this film to teach compassion and feeling to the students.
This annual activity not only allows students to feel what it's like to be disabled, but also teaches them empathy for others and how to cherish what they have in their lives.
Taipei's Xinya Elementary students are holding a special yarn installation where they bomb the streets of Taipei with knitted items. The trees are wearing sweaters while the street lamps are adorned with knitted trinkets. This colorful display brought back some of the festive atmosphere to an otherwise sterile city streets. People are stopping to take pictures of the trees and lamps as the students of Taipei's Xinya Elementary School are holding a yarn installation at the local park.
这是那个树把它这上面这个把它缝上去。
校树每天都会守候的孩子在操场上运动啊。
The trees that surround the school grow up with the students of the school. So we thought if they have pretty outfits to wear for the holiday, it would be a sight to see. Seeing this come to fruition was quite beautiful. The 26 works of art on display are all holiday related, including the celebration of the upcoming Christmas, as well as the Year of the Rooster. The display of the large lantern float covered in yarn is the first place winner of this year's Taipei Lantern Festival Elementary Division.
Our
theme is to take our everyday craft, such as knitting, and applying it to the holiday festival theme. Our main goal is to spark the children's interest, and so we can revive this handicraft once more. Organizing this multicolor installation not only helps liven up the city streets, but also helps the children learn another skill to add to their talents. The Tainan Jingsi Hall recently held an event to promote vegetarianism in response to the upcoming Ethical Eating Day, which falls on January 11th. Volunteers hope more residents will join them to reduce the environmental burden on the planet by adopting a vegetarian diet. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.